Hello and welcome. You're watching To The Point. Yesterday, the BJP released its vision document for Kashmir, and the first thing that caught everyone's attention is that it's silent about the abrogation of Article 370. After fielding nearly 40% Muslim candidates, is this another sign that the BJP is presenting a new face in the state? And is it credible, or could it be misleading? That's the discussion in part 2. But first, BJP President Amit Shah's intention to hold a rally at the Victoria House crossing in Calcutta on Sunday was initially thwarted by the ruling Trinamool National Conference, until the Calcutta High Court overruled the government a few hours ago. So is this an embarrassing slap on Mamata Banerjee's face? Is it a victory for democracy and free speech? And does the BJP have the right to crow? That's the first debate tonight. And now joining me to discuss the new situation between the BJP and Mamata Banerjee is the BJP Prabhari in charge of the state, Siddharthnath Singh, TMC MP and former Minister Saugata Roy, the well-known business standard columnist Shananda K. Dattare, who will be joining us shortly, and the well-established Asian Age columnist Ashok Malik. Saugata Roy, your party, the Trinamool Congress, acting through the Calcutta Municipal Corporation, did its best to try and deny Amit Shah permission to hold this rally. Literally about an hour or two ago, you've been firmly overruled by the Calcutta High Court. They've given that rally permission to go ahead. I believe the judge has also rebuked your party. This is a slap in Mamata Banerjee's face. Are you as a party embarrassed this evening?
You are making a mistake that most people make. Our party had nothing to do with giving the permission to the rally. The BJP applied to the police commissioner. He had put certain conditions after the High Court instructed him to. One of them was taking permission from the Calcutta Municipal Corporation and the fire brigade. Now the High Court has given the permission with certain conditions. Now this is no political decision. We follow the rule of the law, and the state government will naturally abide by the High Court decision.
I'm delighted you follow the rule of the law. I'm delighted to hear that. But the truth is, the BJP had to go to the High Court 3 times. The last time they went to the High Court, the High Court actually gave permission, provided the BJP got clearance from the Calcutta Municipal Corporation and the fire brigade. Now, the Calcutta Municipal Corporation comes under the TMC, and you made them raise all sorts of sticky little points to deny permission. So I come back. This denial of permission was done at the behest of your party.
No, how do you know that? Somebody told you.
But the CMC is controlled by your party. Are you saying that they act independently without Mamata Banerjee's say-so?
Please understand, a government or a municipal body has a permanent bureaucracy as well as elected members. The Kolkata Corporation councillors' majority is with the Trinamool Congress. But it has got a hierarchy, the commissioner and other officers. On such routine matters, decisions are taken by officers according to rules. It has nothing to do with the party. You're
distancing yourself from the action and the decisions taken by the Calcutta Municipal Commissioner now, after the High Court has rebuked you and after the High Court has overruled you. I didn't hear Mamata Banerjee or anyone in the TMC earlier on distancing themselves from the Municipal Corporation or the Fire Brigade. You had many days in which to make your own position clear and differentiate it. You never did it. So I come back. You didn't do it earlier because they were acting on your behest.
The municipal authorities, the fire brigade and the police, they act on their own within the law. This does not call for instructions from the political executive.
All right. I have with me SN Singh, who is in fact the BJP Prabhari in charge of Bengal. Mr. SN Singh, do you accept that argument from Saugata Roy that this hasn't happened at the behest of Mamata Banerjee or the Trinamool Congress, that in fact the Municipal Corporation and the Fire Brigade were acting independently?
Chief Minister is not concerned with small matters.
Well, let me put that to Mr. SN Singh. Let's see whether he accepts that. Do you accept that, Mr. SN Singh?
Well, neither a deaf or a dumb man would even accept what Mr. Subrata Roy is saying. We all know, and in West Bengal, even a leaf cannot be moved without Mamata Banerjee's permission. Now let me little elaborate, Karan, so that I sound logical. We applied on 22nd of July to the Kolkata police for the permission for a rally to be held on 30th November, which is way back. They didn't respond. We sent them a reminder in October. They didn't respond. We sent them a reminder in November, early November. They didn't respond, so we decided to move mid-November immediately to the High Court for seeking justice. So this has been the pattern. Now let me come back again on another very important fact which Karan the High Court has given as their observation. The High Court says that it is the first time a political party which has complied with the law has come to us, and therefore they must be given a leeway. It's a very significant and historical observation, because it shows that the BJP in West Bengal has been adhering to the law, and after complying each and every formality, we were seeking the permission. Now, as if Mr. Subrata Roy, what he is saying, if that be the case, and that needs, if this is corroborated with the observation of the court, is Mr. Subrata Roy and the Chief Minister ready to sack the officers, the police commissioners and the rest of them for their act of not following the law? I don't think they have the guts, because the people involved and the hand involved, invisible hand involved of not giving us the permission, it has political connotation, was nobody but Mamata Banerjee.
Let me put that point to you, Mr. Subrata Roy, first, since you're distancing yourself and creating a clear demarcation between the Trinamool party and the Calcutta Municipal Corporation, and as well as the Commissioner. Are you prepared to take action against them? Because clearly what they were doing was unlawful. It's been rebuked by the court. Will you take action against them?
I just heard Mr. Siddharth Singh. He said, are you prepared to sack officers like that? Maybe BJP state governments sack officers like that. We have no reason to sack anybody.
I changed it to take action. In my question, I didn't ask you to sack. I said, will you take action?
Take action.
You will take action.
I am reacting. No. We will take action only if the High Court issued some strictures to them, or if the High Court recommended some stricture. Otherwise, the question does not arise.
In other words, I'm stopping you for clarification. This is very important. You're saying if the High Court, in its final judgment and verdict, has passed strictures, you will take action. At the moment, that High Court verdict is not public. Only the details are known, the outcome, not the details. So if there are strictures, you will take action.
Yeah. So if there are strictures in the name of specific officers, if the High Court tells the state government to take action, it will follow the rule of the law.
Absolutely, you have no choice in that matter.
That question doesn't arise.
Yes.
As far as I know, High Court has issued no strictures against any officer. They have given a general direction, that's all.
Let me put something else to you. You've heard Siddharth Singh say that in fact the BJP applied on the 22nd of July. They sent a reminder in November. On the 2nd, they sent another reminder thereafter. They got no response from the Calcutta Municipal Corporation at all. They had to go to the court before the municipal corporation responded. So the municipal corporation was responding under duress. Is that not grounds for taking action yourself?
No, Mr. Karan Thapa, you must realize, permission for using microphones is not given by the Kolkata Municipal Corporation, but by the police authorities. This holds for anywhere in the country. The High Court
currently applied to the Calcutta police.
BJP to get permission.
Mr. SN Singh, just a moment. Mr. SN Singh was saying something in correction, and I'll then go to my other two guests who've been patiently waiting. Go ahead, Mr. SN Singh.
I just want to correct. We applied to the Kolkata police, not to Calcutta Municipal Corporation, because the permission actually comes from Calcutta police, and they in turn inform the KMC and the fire brigade for the compliance, which is the next step to be done. But Kolkata police didn't reply to us. That forced us to go to the High Court.
Okay. I've got with me now Sunanda Dattare as well as Ashok Malik. Mr. Dattare, first to you. Today, the Calcutta High Court has overruled the decision of the Calcutta Municipal Commissioner refusing permission to the Trinamool Congress, the process of which has led to the High Court rebuking the TMC for the way this matter has been handled. Now, you've got Saugata Roy denying this is a slap in the face, denying in fact that his party had anything to do with it, insisting that in these matters the municipal corporation, the police and the fire brigade act independently, and therefore he says he's not embarrassed, Mamta's not slapped in the face. And I ask you as an independent observer, is he right, or is in fact Mamta deeply embarrassed?
Well, I would have agreed with you wholeheartedly, but for one thing, that the CPM or the Left Front has twice been refused permission to hold rallies in the same place. So it's difficult to say that this is directed only at the BJP. But yes, it did strike me during this sad sequence of events of the BJP going to the High Court and back to the police and to the corporation, that all kinds of conditions were being insisted on this time, which I've never heard mentioned before. Fire hazard, drinking water, sanitation. What meeting, public rally in Calcutta has ever bothered with fire hazards and with sanitation and with drinking water? These were now suddenly produced as conditions. Now, that suggests to me that either the corporation or the police have become very meticulous in their observance and their respect for civic rights and for the city's general welfare, or they were getting direction from above. I don't know. I am not privy to their private counsels.
Absolutely.
But yes, a number of conditions were being imposed this time, which made it look very suspect.
Ashok Malik, many people think that in fact the real reason why permission was being refused under the disguise of these peculiar deficiencies, as the municipal commissioner called it in his letter to the BJP, is because actually Mamta Banerjee did not want a large rally at Victoria House Crossing. She so far is the only person who's been able to fill up this enormous area which can take up to 3 lakhs. If the BJP had pulled in an equal number or even more, it would have sent a clear signal that in fact the BJP has arrived in a big way, and she didn't want that signal to be sent to the people of Bengal. Do you accept that theory that journalists are propounding, or do you think it's a bit exaggerated?
You see, when the BJP under Narendra Modi began to make inroads in West Bengal 6 or 7 months ago, I believe Mamta Banerjee was initially happy. She thought this would divide the opposition vote, fracture the opposition vote that much more between the Congress, the BJP and the CPIM, and help her win a large number of seats, which is actually what happened in the Lok Sabha election, where with about 35 or 37% of the vote, she took home a large number of seats. What has happened subsequently is that the BJP has just grown and grown and grown. It's still way behind the Trinamool, I would argue, and at best it can finish a strong second in the upcoming assembly elections in 2016. However, the rapid growth of the BJP, even though it's still behind the Trinamool Congress, has certainly unnerved Mamta Banerjee, which is evident from the fact that her response to the Bardhaman terror module revelations and another thing was feckless and irresponsible. Okay. To suggest that terror module was a conspiracy put together by the Union government and by certain security officers who work for the government of India but are being advised by the RS, showed a certain immaturity and desperation, and nobody quite believed it.
Come back to the rally.
Coming as the rally, the permission for the rally, or the lack of permission for the rally, coming as on the heels of that Bardhaman incident, would suggest that she is taking the BJP much more seriously now and is perhaps a little worried.
Let me put it like this, Saugata Roy. Most people believe that in fact, yes, acting through the Calcutta Municipal Corporation, your government and probably your Chief Minister specifically was taking revenge against the BJP, A, because of the way the CBI has arrested some of your MPs over the Sharda Chit Fund scam, B, because of the Bardhaman incident, and C, because you're worried the BJP is gaining ground in Bengal at your cost. That's how many people have interpreted it, and that's what many people believe. How do you respond to them? Because that now raises question marks about your credibility and Mamta Banerjee's credibility.
I deny all the three. You should not bring in the name of the Chief Minister into every matter. I would suggest that you read the outlook this week, which shows that the NIA has goofed up and the state government extended full cooperation in the matter of the Burdwan blast. As far as the Sarda thing is concerned, I do not know why you brought that in the present circumstance. And see, as Mr. Ashok Malik correctly pointed out, that BJP is way behind us. Only newspapers and media can't build up a party. BJP fortuitously got 17% votes in the last Lok Sabha election, but only improved their tally by 1. They got total 2 seats out of 42 in West Bengal. They are so far behind that they are not an immediate cause for worry. Mamata Banerjee has got the solid support of the people of the state, and I think that is not going to be disturbed for some time, since our opposition is in disarray.
Let me interrupt you there.
A very nascent state.
Let me interrupt you and put this to you. If you are so absolutely certain that in fact you are not responding in any vindictive way to the possibilities that the BJP is gaining ground at your cost, then how do you explain the petty, if not ridiculous reasons on which the Calcutta Municipal Commissioner Khalil Ahmed, in his letter to the BJP, denied them permission? He was citing such things as the size of the staircase to the rally platform. Secondly, he was worried about the size of the free space around the stage. And on each of those, he was assured by the BJP, we will redo the stage, redo the arrangements to suit your convenience and your requirements. And even still, after getting that assurance, he still refused permission. If this is not being vindictive at the behest of the Chief Minister, what is it?
Mr. Thapar, you must realize that the Commissioner of Calcutta Municipal Corporation is a senior IAS officer. He is aware of the rules, and as Shunando Dr. correctly pointed out, he has followed the rules meticulously. There cannot be any mistake. You must remember that all responsible positions in the country, including that of the Chief Election Commissioner, Central Vigilance Commissioner, the Central Information Commissioners, are held by IAS officers who are expected to act independently.
Expected to is the important word, sir. Expected to. Often in practice they don't. You know that and I know that. Let's not pull the wool over each other's eyes, and least of all not over the country.
Commissioner acts at the behest of the ruling party.
Let me bring in.
Think so?
Let me bring in Sunanda Datta Roy.
He is an IAS officer.
Let me bring in Sunanda Datta Roy. This whole thing turns on whether an IAS officer acts independently of the Chief Minister or whether an IAS officer would act at the behest of and to fulfill the wishes of. In this instance, what's your belief? The BJP is convinced that whatever the Calcutta Municipal Commissioner did was done at the behest of the TMC government. Are they right? Or do you accept Shaugat Roy when he claims these are independent people, they follow rules and procedures, they are not influenced by the Chief Minister?
Yes.
Go on, Mr. Datta Roy, answer that for me.
I would like to believe that we still uphold the tradition of the iron frame of the civil service, which is independent of political influence. But let me put it this way. I think there are certain rules in the regulations book which lay down the kind of fire escape there should be, the kind of sanitary arrangements, the kind of drinking water provision, the size of the stage, the number of people. They're all there. But the civil servant in charge is at liberty to enforce them or to turn a blind eye. And the apposite question here would be that the number of times since 1994, I think, on the 21st of July, when Trinamool Congress has held a meeting there outside Victoria House, have those rules been applied? Or has the Commissioner of Calcutta Corporation turned a blind eye? That would be the crucial thing. The rules are always there. The rules can be dragged out and enforced when someone wants to. The rules can be glossed over when someone wants to.
Let me go to Siddharthnath Singh on this point. I want you to confirm something for me, Siddharthnath Singh. Yesterday it was being said that after the Municipal Commissioner had written to you saying that your application suffers from deficiencies, as he called it, and then specifying what they were, it was reported that the BJP had gone back to him and said, we will fulfill any condition you lay down, construct the stage in any way you want, have the staircase in any way you want, as much free space as you want. And even after that, he still refused to give you permission. Is that report accurate? Can you give me details?
Well, you are absolutely right. We had said that we will comply to each and every conditions which you wish us to do, and that was said by our party president here, also to the media, in front of the media, and otherwise to the corporation. But let me just add, I don't want to come into defense of any IS officers and all, but Mamata Banerjee and her government have been very clever. The officer in concern, the commissioner, to some extent, in my opinion, I hold him as a noble officer. But she made a committee to decide on these things so as to overrule the commissioner. There's another side of the politics. So let's not drag somebody, someone as an individual. The person who needs to be dragged, Karan, and we must be fair, is the Mamata Banerjee, and the reason for Mamata Banerjee getting nervous, please understand, one is the capacity that BJP has to overshadow her previous rallies. Second, which is a very important thing, and I will make two other points also.
Very quickly
I'm making. The very important thing which everybody is missing, Karan, is there is a large number of minorities, particularly the Muslims, who have joined BJP, and they go over 1 lakh membership has come to BJP from Muslim community. And my charges, which I have already, I'm moved the minority commission, that is the 5 deaths of BJP workers which has happened in last 2 months. Karan, it is sad. The Masiya of Muslim Mamata Banerjee has become a destroyer. All those 5 have died, and they are Muslims at the hand of the TMC. And
let me stop you there. I want to go back. I want to go back to Shaukat Roy. Shaukat Roy, I'm not going to repeat any of the things that you've heard from SN Singh. I'm going to quote instead today's Telegraph, a Calcutta paper and a very respected paper. Multiple government agencies, the paper writes, appear to be working overtime to find hitherto unheard of rules to deny the BJP permission for the rally at a place where Trinamool has been organizing its July 21 meeting for years. Here's a Calcutta paper, one of the most respected, clearly saying that your party has been finding devious and detailed ways of thwarting Amit Shah.
It is inimical to Trinamool Congress. If it is Telegraph, it is inimical to Trinamool Congress. You take the reports with a grain of salt. They are trying to find fault with us. And I do not think Muslims are joining BJP in any large number. I think that atrocities, communal situations are happening all over the country. It took place in Tilokpuri in Delhi only recently. So I do not think there is any reason for Muslims to join the BJP in West Bengal. But be that as it may, to drag the Chief Minister's name in everything, in matters where decisions are taken by local officers, is highly wrong. To besmirch the name of
you may think it's highly wrong, the press think it's probably very pertinent. Because as you hear most people say, nothing happens in Calcutta without Mamata Banerjee's permission. Two quick questions, the first to Ashok Malik and then to Sunanda Dattare. Ashok Malik, this has become somewhat of a cause célèbre. Does it have the capacity to swing urban opinion in Calcutta? I'm talking strictly about Calcutta, against Mamata, or is that unlikely?
Well, the Calcutta Municipal Corporation elections are due in a few weeks, a few months, depending on when the Trinamool Congress agrees to hold them. And one of the reasons those elections have been postponed and not held on time is because Mamata Banerjee fears a very strong challenge from the BJP, which has emerged as a strong party in the urban areas of West Bengal. In the 2014 Lok Sabha election, in the Bhawanipur Assembly constituency, which is Mamata Banerjee's own constituency in South Calcutta, the BJP actually finished ahead of the Trinamool Congress and finished first. And that should give you an indication as to how far the BJP has come, how quickly. That may not sustain. I'm not suggesting it will necessarily win the election.
But it's indicative.
Down, but it is emerging as a very formidable challenger.
Now, Sunanda Dattare, in many ways, it was the left's treatment of Mamata that built her up into a colossus that then went on to fell the left. Is Mamta, perhaps without even realizing it, doing the same thing to the BJP and creating the conditions for her own nemesis sometime down the road? A quick answer.
She is a tornado and she can sweep the state ahead of her. She still, I think, has that magic to rally the masses. Not the middle classes, perhaps, not the Chaurangi constituency which Ashok Malik mentioned earlier, but in the bastis and the villages, she still has a certain magnetic force, and that can help her, will help her in her campaign. She's declared war on the BJP. Okay. It will help her in that campaign.
All right, we're going to have to end this particular episode there. Clearly, the situation in Bengal is becoming interesting, exciting, and politically well worth observing closely. But certainly, the press will conclude, and I'm sure you'll see this in the papers tomorrow, that this particular round was an embarrassment for the TMC, and even if Mr. Shaukat Roy disagrees, a slap in the face for the Chief Minister, and a boost and a boon for the BJP. My thanks to all my four guests for joining me.